Hi guys, and welcome to another video lesson. Today we're going to be taking a look at re-orchestrating 16th note grooves. So 16th note or semiquaver grooves, this is something we've looked at before. Two hands on the hi-hat with the right hand coming down to play the snare drum on 2 and 4. Left is, I remembered right off the bat today, apologies, turn that round. So for you it's your left hand coming down to play the snare drum. What we're going to be looking at today is re-orchestrating these grooves. I think 16th note patterns are really useful. There's so many notes to play with, there's so many different things you can do. But before we get onto that, let's just remind ourselves of a standard 16th note groove played at 70 beats per minute. Really important to stress straight away in this lesson that what we are doing today is exactly the same sticking pattern, foot pattern, exactly the same movement as what we just did there in our standard 16th note groove. We're not changing the sticking, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. We're not moving the snare drum, that's staying on 2 and 4 and always being played with our lead hand. And the bass drum is always staying on 1 and 3. What we are doing is moving that to different parts of the drum kit. Our eyes and our ears are going to play tricks on us with this one. We've talked about this before, about learning through looking and listening. When things look different and sound different, we tend to get a little bit confused, even if our arms and legs are doing the same movement they were doing a second ago. So we're going to start by moving from the hi-hat to the toms. Now we're going to stick with tom 3 and tom 1 today, but as you get more confident and comfortable with this pattern, if you want to move it around to different toms, that's absolutely fine, no problem. So it's exactly the same movement, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. Left is turn that round. It's exactly the same movement as we had over here. 70 beats per minute, here we go. Now I'm going to put that in a 3-1 resolve. So the groove part of this 3-1 resolve is now on the toms instead of the hi-hat. Standard semiquaver fill in bar 4. I've not been very adventurous there. If you want to change that for something different, that's absolutely fine. If you've got a preferred fill you want to put in bar 4, go right ahead. Here we go. So this time we're going to re-orchestrate on the right. So we're going to leave our left hand on the hi-hat and bring our right hand over to the right. So we're going to be completely open-handed from one side of the kit to the other. Right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. Here we go, 70 beats per minute. Now I'm going to throw that in a 3-1 resolve. I'm keeping the fills the same all the way through today's lesson, but as I've already said, if you want to change them, go right ahead. Here we go. The last orchestration we're going to look at is my favourite. We're going to keep the right hand on the hi-hat this time and bring the left hand down to the snare drum. And we're going to be playing right, left, and then the right hand's going to come over the top and down onto the snare drum. One thing I would suggest here is bring your left hand slightly further over on the snare drum, just so you've got a bit more space to bring that lead hand over the top and come down on the snare drum without clonking your sticks together like that. Also, we're going to accent 2 and 4. So we're going to make 2 and 4 stand out. Now, obviously, to accent 2 and 4, you could just play 2 and 4 louder, hit that harder, that's fine. One thing I like to do as well is to soften all of those left hands on the snare drum. So ghost those left hands pretty much, keep them really, really soft so that 2 and 4 really stands out. For me, that works really well and makes this sound more like a groove. Otherwise, it just sounds like a fill with some hi-hats in it, to be honest with you. Here we go, 70 beats per minute. Let's put that in a 3-1 resolve as well. So there's a quick look at 3 different ways to orchestrate a 16th note pattern. Now, we've looked at lots of different 16th note patterns in previous lessons, changing the bass drum, the snare drum, and both. What happens if you re-orchestrate some of those more complex patterns? As I've said, these 16th note grooves lend themselves really nicely to re-orchestrations because of the number of notes that are involved. What other grooves do you know that you could re-orchestrate? Do they sound as good? Do certain orchestrations work as well as they have done today? Experiment, have some fun. Can you combine different orchestrations together? Maybe use the ride and incorporate some toms perhaps. There's a lot of possibilities, lots of options here. Pause the video, go away, have some fun and see what you can come up with. So that's it for today's lesson on re-orchestrating 16th note grooves. I hope you enjoyed that. If you've got any questions, please feel free to get in touch. If you're watching this on YouTube, leave a comment down below. I will get back to you as soon as I can. Stay safe, take care and enjoy your drumming, guys.